The most common comment I receive on this channel is generally some version of, "How are you still on YouTube?" Like HP Lovecraft, who writes, "Don't know how you're still on YouTube, but God bless you for this." Or Shaved Ice, who writes, "A Nick Fuentes video on YouTube?" And Big Ol with, "I don't know how long you'll stay up, but I appreciate the effort to share Nick on YouTube under the umbrella of commentary." So why the confusion? Well, historically, and definitely for as long as I have paid attention to politics, true right-wing positions have been censored into obscurity. And so much so that the average person has no grasp or concept of what those positions are. However, the most prominent representative for such ideas is, in fact, Nick Fuentes.
Dude, just watch this. This is so awesome.
And everyone has taken notice of his resurgence through clippers like myself and others, such as Bring the Asteroid News. A cursory search on YouTube of just Nick Fuentes will present hundreds of results of content that just a year ago was unthinkable on the platform. So what changed? To put it simply, our ideas are winning. Let's just take a look at the events that have happened in the last week alone. First off, we have the Nelk Boys interview, which I covered in my last video.
Chat, I just want to say too, really quick, obviously you guys see what's going on the fucking internet right now. It's been a crazy 48 hours. It's just been fucking crazy, bro. And what I can definitely admit is I don't regret having Netanyahu on the podcast. What I do regret is I think we were unequipped to interview him. I think we walked in there, I'll be honest, we walked in there uneducated. We walked in there unequipped. And I wish we knew a lot more. And I wish we could go back in time and fucking grill him 1,000 times harder.
A PR nightmare turned into a kick emergency stream where prominent content creators are doing damage control for even thinking of taking on an interview with Netanyahu. The second event would be Charlie Kirk hosting a focus group where he is now actively pushing for moderate criticism of Israel.
Does that resonate with you?
Oh yeah, exactly.
You're not anti-Israel. You don't wish them harm. You're not, like cheering on Iran.
No, I support Israel. I think they're our ally. I want them.
But you would be called an anti-Semite by some people for saying this.
And I think that's ridiculous. I don't hate Jews because I think a nation should defend themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's the most ridiculous thing ever.
So for me, I'm trying to find this new path, which is I love Israel. I visited there. My wife and I had the best experiences ever. I saw where Jesus rose from the dead and he walked on water. But also I'm an American and I represent a generation that can't afford anything. And that we are flooded with illegals and no one speaks English and our hospitals are clogged. I think we need to have the prudence to reject the Jew hate. Okay, we're not gonna put up with that, that's dumb. But also, if you call everyone an anti-Semite, if they don't take a puritanical view of the Netanyahu government, then I think it's bad for everybody.
Another instance of a gatekeeper doing damage control as it continually becomes clear that TPUSA is bleeding the support of the youth. The third event would be Myron Gaines hosting his Fresh and Fit podcast while he has a conversation with black women about Adolf Hitler. Now, I am actually fearful of this clip, so I will play a short portion.
What do you guys think about Hitler?
What if the Jewish did something to the Germans that made them act a certain way, but nobody wants to talk about it?
You can find the entire thing across X. Just look for an Israeli flag and a wall of text. The fourth thing I would hone in on would be Arval making his push for his whites-only community in Arkansas.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
white American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
Well, I mean, you don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labour, the women take care of the children who live here full time. It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors. That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing the matter as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere.
Not only did he squash his beef in a sit-down with Fuentes, he is actively pushing the line on exercising his right to freedom of association. Now, these are all major events from larger creators, but it's also happening at the grassroots level as well. Somebody who I believe deserves a special shout out would be Shameless Sperg, who is actively testing the limits for how relaxed YouTube appears to be in this current moment of time on its censorship. But to conclude, I am of two minds of this current climate. Part of me believes that the market saturation of noticing has reached such a significant level that blanket censorship may actually harm the bottom line for YouTube, especially with many alternatives being more easily accessible than before, namely X, Kick, and Rumble. But there are those who are hesitant, who feel something is awry, and I can't help but feel the same. It's unnatural to be able to speak this freely, especially on these specific subjects. For example, I also get comments in the other direction, like from Mauricio. He writes, unpopular opinion, the great noticing is not organic and is being pushed by design. What the purpose of that is, who really knows? Overall, I think even if this is some pseudo-psyop, it is definitely plan B. And to me, it is an overwhelming sign that the culture has shifted and it won't be stopping anytime soon. That is where I'll leave it. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I am curious if you guys have thought about this as well, or if you're suspicious of the entire ordeal. But I'll see you guys in the comments. Peace.
Smash that like button.
And smash that subscribe button.